Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle. But tonight we're going to call it the evening whistle. 7 o'clock, started earlier than usual. Obviously the Ipswich game's on in it, so I want to kind of watch that tonight, see what happens in that Friday night clash. But yeah, get involved tonight. We're going to discuss pre-Oxford United. We're going to pick our 11, what we think is going to be going on. Jordan James's interview, we're going to look at that. Press conference, everything that Marty said on different things with Owen and Matt yesterday on the When You're Smiling podcast. JJ, how are we? Carl, how are we? Evening all. Can't wait to get back at it. I know it's only like what? It's not long now. I'm excited to bloody get back, to be fair. Bloody international, but it drags in it, but it feels like it's gone more quicker this time. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. Please get down and do so. And yeah, let's chat. And we've got blue tinted glasses. Locks, how are we?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Shout out the channel. Talk about obviously the progression now and how the channel's going and everything like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's all good fun. All good fun on BTG. We've got a late. We're swapping today, Jack. You're doing the early stream at 7, and we're doing the late night one at 9:30. So there we go. So we're swapping roles tonight. But yeah, it's all good. All good fun.
Good. What's actually coming up on the channel, by the way? I know you were doing the late night Leicester, you like to call it tonight. Anything else?
Yeah. Late night at 9:30. Me, Luke. It's not confirmed yet who's going to be on it, but definitely me and Anil. And yeah, we're gonna actually no, I do know it's me, Luke, Anil, and Steve.
Lovely.
So we're gonna be talking about all sorts other than football, basically. So that's great. Yeah, got to be careful this week with everything. So yeah. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got the watch along, 12:30 kickoff, Oxford. So, yeah, it'll be good fun.
Fantastic. Good evening, Seb. Entertainment, how are we? Hope you're good. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's game. That sounds saucy. It's gone 18 plus on it, I think. Locks has gone tonight's show. So they like to, I guess it's an unfiltered type of show where things get said. If you're offended, then you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. To be fair.
For the easily offended, do not join BTG at 9:30 tonight. Avoid. Yeah.
Locks. Let's talk about Marty. Obviously, you did the When You're Smiling podcast yesterday with Owen and Matty. What did you sort of take from it? Obviously, the last manager to do it, I believe, was Sven-Göran Eriksson in 2010 when he obviously was Leicester manager. No manager's been on it since. But what did you sort of take out of the interview yesterday?
Well, I don't know if it's true. I think Pearson did it in 2011 as well, actually.
Right. Okay.
I think Pearson did it in 2011. What did I take from it? Well, I came away loving Marty even more than I already did, which was very difficult. And yeah, I think he just doubled down on a lot of things that he's already said. You know, the two main ones for me were, number one, he spoke about the atmosphere in the ground and that he believes it's the players' job to create a change in atmosphere. Owen asked him directly and Pipes asked him directly about the negativity surrounding the club over recent years, the fan base on edge and you know, a lot of booing and negativity, and Marty, you know, acknowledged that that's a byproduct of, you know, well, 2 out of 3 seasons being really, really, really poor. And Marty said that, you know, it's down to the players to change that mentality. It's down to the players to make the fans proud of the team again. And I think he will do that slowly but surely. The other thing as well I was really impressed with was he spoke a lot about the youth, of course, or the mentality of the young players, but also the three that have come in, the new players. I think he was very, very, very focused on making sure that the mentality of the squad was in top shape. He got rid of, you know, a few players, and he's brought in 3 players that he said aren't only good enough, but also they bring the right mentality. They bring hunger. They're 3 young players, or relative, you know, Kranz is a little bit older, but they're 3 young players who are hungry to play for Leicester and to play in the Championship. And, you know, I suppose, Jack, when you do look at likes of Josh Brownhill, let's just use an example, who I did want, to be honest with you, initially, you've got to think, does he have the hunger to play in the Championship, or does he just have the hunger to earn a big wage? Whereas these 3 players seem hungry to play for Leicester and get us promoted. So that's what I really liked, what Marty said, yeah.
I sort of liked at the start where they sort of spoke to him about the squad, about the mentality change, the style of football, the identity of getting a new sort of format in place for them, changing the whole landscape of it, the philosophy of the way he wanted them to sort of get in his style of thinking. Which I think after Van Nistelrooy, I think the identity change needed to change massively. We needed to bring the identity back what we was used to, but having different types of managers with different sort of formats, you're thinking to yourself, it's not really what we're used to. You know, you went from obviously Brendan Rodgers' ball. You sort of followed it on from Dean Smith, Enzo Maresca, Steve Cooper, Ruud van Nistelrooy. And then obviously you brought in the man himself, Marti Cifuentes. So I think that's something that the players really lacked about the identity, and really motivating these players to showing that fight and that determination, to bringing that real togetherness back. Because he also talked about the culture quite well. And for him, that's a massive part of how he wants to develop his team, a team that are going to give everything for him. And I sort of find that in the field that he knew what identified in the transfer window and what he wanted. You know, he spoke to obviously the board and that about the players that he wanted to bring in, but then he also knew what the job was when he did come here, that he had to get rid of players as well.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, he's been very, very vocal since day one that one of his main priorities at Leicester is to change the mentality, to change the atmosphere, and to make sure that the squad are willing to fight. And I think already in the opening few games, there's so much progress. There's so much there to kind of take from the games. I think, yeah, they're starting to do that. I think when you look at the win against Birmingham especially, but also you look at Charlton, you see a team that were trying to see out a game, at times, especially towards the end of the game, under a lot of pressure, but they're putting bodies on the line, they're running, you know, to the very last minute, and I'm sorry, but that's not what you've seen in previous Leicester City teams recently. And also not just that, but when we go a goal behind, the players want and they fight to get a goal back. And again, how many times last season under Ruud van Nistelrooy did we concede the first goal and then go on to the heads drop, the players just give up, and you concede a second and a third and a fourth. And that's I think one thing that Marty's trying to change really, and I think he's doing a very good job of that, to be honest. And again, as I said with the recruitment, he said that it's, you know, football these days is all about data. However, what numbers on a spreadsheet will not tell you is how. So the example he used, Jack, he said, if I was looking for a winger, if you were just relying on data, you would just, you know, filter it and see the winger with the highest success rate for dribbling and most assists, whatever. But that does not tell you, that data does not tell you how that winger behaves when you're 1-0 down with 20 minutes to go. Does the winger at 1-0 down with 20 minutes to go want the ball? Is he asking for the ball? Is he demanding the ball? Is he taking on his fullback? And I think it's really encouraging to see that that's what he's talking, you know, that's what he's saying. It's so easy. He called recruitment an art, which it is. You need to find the
It is.
perfect players.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure there's players out there that maybe have more quality than Aaron Ramsey, Jordan James, and Carranza that we maybe could have signed. But do they have the hunger? Do they have the fight? Maybe not. A lot of research, goes into these players to see what their character's like, to see what their personality's like, and clearly Marty and the club think that these three, specifically, will bring that character and the quality, and I think that's the most important thing. So I think we're going to be even better once we see all three of these players integrated into the team.
I think with the old characteristics thing, that's something that, we revert back to Nigel Pearson, Craig Shakespeare, Steve Walsh. They went for characteristics for players. You look at Riyad Mahrez that go to his teachers and everything like that and learn about him. And then they'd learn about him at the football club and his attitude and how he'd fit into the team, the way he'd fit the foundations at Leicester in the squad they wanted to sort of glue together at the time. And that's been sort of something that I think's really lacked in the last few seasons. We've just brought in players, but we don't really know much about them. And then you're sort of looking at Bilal. Take him, for instance, last season before he joined Leicester, it was the case of didn't want to play for Genk, refused, pushed a move, came to Leicester. Okay, then, well, this guy wants to play for us. And then you sort of had in the back of your mind, like, would he do that to Leicester? And it's obviously proved the same situation again, where he's refused to play. But what I love about Marty is, Locks, that he's not afraid to put his foot down and he's not afraid to say no with these players, which, you've got to show him the respect. And if you don't show him that respect, what he obviously wants from you, there's a problem in the way he communicates with you as a manager, because that's what he wants, that massive respect. And he also spoke about the fans yesterday, about bringing that connection back between the fans. And he's obviously quite good at that, isn't he? You've seen him at the Sheffield Wednesday game, going around shaking fans' hands and this, that, and the other. And, he's obviously gone to, where was it? Somewhere in Croft, where he'd gone to a pub and he'd sat down, he'd speak with the fans, he'd just be like a normal person. Him and Xavi Khan was there. And that's what you love to see from a manager, isn't it? Someone who's not just within the football club and getting to know everybody at the football club. He wants to get to know everybody from the outside world as well, which obviously includes the fans, the community, and obviously learning about the history and the culture of Leicester.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. Bang on. And he even name dropped Nigel Pearson in the interview.
He did.
He name dropped Nigel Pearson, and he said about when Nigel Pearson came to the club were in a difficult position and he kind of rebuilt the club. And that's another word Marty dropped and used was rebuild. He used the word rebuild. And he said that, whether he's here in 2 years or 10 years, but we know he won't be here in 10 years because he'll either have a bad run and he'll be sacked, or he'll be that good he gets poached. That's how it is with Leicester City. We won't have a manager for 10 years, unfortunately. But yeah, he's right, and it's just really exciting to see a manager that is kind of engrossing himself in the club's culture, with the fans, in the history of the club as well. He's done a lot of research. I heard that when he joined the club, the first person he wanted to meet was Birch as well. That's another thing that I saw. So he's really doing his best to integrate himself into the whole club and everything to do with the club, and that's all you really want as a fan. You look at Ruud van Nistelrooy last season, who kind of showed up and maybe thought he was a big time Charlie, and he didn't really care too much, and in his interviews he came across a bit flip floppy. And even in his interview for the club, when he did the interview video, they had to travel to him in the Netherlands, in Holland, to go and film that. He didn't even come over here. Whereas we've now got a manager, Jack, who paid out of his own pocket to be here. He paid to be here, Marty. He contributed out of his own pocket. So I think we need to get behind this guy all the way, because I think he's one of the good guys in football. I think he's a great coach. He's a great man manager, in my opinion. I think how he's managed the squad to man management for the last few weeks has been exceptional. The whole Bilal stuff, he knew Bilal didn't want to be here, so he just got rid. He left him out of the squad, and he got rid of him at all costs, even though it's a loan with a obligation. He's not playing Winks and Fast. He's not starting them, even though they probably would start if you were picking the best 11, right?
Yeah.
He's not picking them because he knows the mentality or the attitude isn't there. So he's doing all the right things, and he's been dealt a shit hand, but he can't complain about that because he decided to take the job. He knew how shit the hand would be, and he still took the job, and that's a credit to him. He was up for the task, and he's come in, and I think he's doing a really good job, and there's even more to come.
Yeah, I think it's just early days with him, to be fair. He ticks all the right boxes. Obviously, some fans were like, yeah, we wanted a Danny Rowe, Sean Dyche to come in. And it's like, okay, then. Why would you want them over Marti? But Marti's proved, he's got both sides of what the fans wanted from them two other managers. So, he's commanding, he's progressive. He speaks about his style of football, from what he wants from his teams, his formations, how he wants his team to play in certain games against different types of opponents, which I find good, where you can sort of play a strong team and you say, okay, then, well, we can sort of add little details here, and then we sort of find their sort of weaknesses and that. And then you play against, no disrespect, Charlton or someone like that, and it's a whole different sort of game again. So I like that he's got different plans for different games, and obviously he knows himself that you can't just have one plan in football. You've got to have so many. I think he's got B, C, and bloody D if you ask him. So I'm quite happy with him, to be fair. I think the squad is starting to really enduring what he wants from them. He obviously speaks about the international break and how crucial that's been for him. I think he had about 4 weeks with the team before the season, which is not really enough time as a manager. But for international break, you've had 2 weeks with these players now to get that extra time and learn a lot more in how to develop a squad going forward. And I think these next 5 block of fixtures for the team, I think it's going to be a massive sense of you'll see a lot more in a positive way, Locks.
Yeah, exactly. I think, one point you made there about the players and how they're reacting to Marti, and I think, that's bang on. I think, Enzo had so much love from the players, and they loved playing for him, and we didn't really get that with the other managers, unfortunately, after him, Cooper and Ruud. But now it does seem that the players are really buying into what he wants to do. And with regards to the adaptability, the flexibility, with regards to tactics and stuff like that, and game plans, I think you're right with that. It's a lot more flexible than what it was with Enzo Maresca. You've seen it, we've seen it already with the likes of Vestergaard. I think he wants to play Vestergaard because Vestergaard has the right attitude at the moment. It can change, of course, but I think at the moment he's got the right attitude. And off the back of that, he wants to play him because he's also good in the build-up. He's good on the ball. He's good in possession, and that benefits the team. So what Marti's done the last couple of games is he's had to slightly adapt the way we play. I think we've sat a bit deeper. We've not left ourselves as exposed on the break because we know Vestergaard will get caught out, and Luke Thomas as well. So he's adapted to the players. And this is what a lot of I don't like tippy-tappy football, and I don't like Pep Guardiola, blah, blah, blah. Right, that's what a lot of these fans were moaning about, was that the manager's too stubborn. The manager doesn't play the best system for the players. You have to get the best out of the players, not try and get the players to get the best out of the system. Whereas I think Marti is doing the opposite. I think Marti has adapted the team. He has adapted the system and the tactics to suit our team, to suit the facts that we have a double-decker bus at the back in Yannick Vestergaard, and he wants to use him. He wants to play him because he does bring a lot to the team. So he's adapted how we sit out of possession, even in possession, to sit a little bit deeper so that Vestergaard isn't caught out as much. So I think that's bang on. I think that's what he needed to do. The principles and the basics are still there on how he wants the team to play. A lot of pressing, quick football when possible, and all of this stuff. But he has changed from that Sheffield Wednesday game. Anybody who says that the how we set up against Sheffield Wednesday and how we set up against Birmingham, if anybody tries to say it was the same, it was absolutely not. I don't know what they're seeing. It was a complete change, really, in terms of how deep we were, and that is to protect Vestergaard. And that's a smart manager. That's a manager that is able to adapt and able to be flexible. And I think that's all we really need. He's adapting the team to suit the players and to try and get the result. And yeah, that's brilliant. No complaints.
He's very creative. This is what I like about him. He's not a guy who just thinks on the spot. He's got a plan in terms of everything. You know, the way he talks, it's like, you know, where are you going to be in the next 10 years, Marty? Bloody Barcelona or somewhere. And he obviously spoke about that quite well. They said, what attracted you to Leicester? He said the history, the club itself. You know, they've been very successful. They're a big team for me. They've got some similarities of when obviously he's Barcelona sort of connections of being a fan and that, and obviously Gary Lineker in that. So that's what I like about him. He's connecting like your ex-Foxes who'd obviously had that Barcelona thing, and that's very good and a positive sort of thing to hear as a fan as well, that he is looking at them type of things. And he is a manager who wants to really kick on, develop a lot more. He knows that about himself, but he just ticks all the right boxes. And obviously you cannot love him. You look at Buba Samari, man's bloody smiling, happy and everything. I'm thinking, where's this guy been? You know, and you know what? It's good to see maybe that he could actually turn a page with Buba. See, Buba's probably the most frustrating player to watch in a Leicester shirt, to be fair. But it's about, can he find them characteristics with Buba and get the best out of him? That's the big question, because there's a lot of players where you think, yeah, the mentality is not quite there, and obviously Buba's one of them. So do you sort of think that he's the sort of man who's now come in, and do you think now Buba's starting to enjoy more under Marti with what Marti's doing with him, obviously behind the scenes, putting him in the squad, and obviously having these chats with him every now and then to sort of catch up with him? And he seems like a very man management type of manager, and I think with Buba, you can sort of see he's more happy than bloody ever, and I think that's about time.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes back to what I was saying about man management, why I think he's a great man manager, because the best man managers get the best out of the players that maybe have struggled previously. And I think, you know, when you've got the likes of Harry Winks and Oliver Skipp and Oliver Skipp, Harry Winks, Wout Faes, who have not been good enough, including Skip's a bit harsh, but I'll say Winks and Fast. You're looking at two players there who aren't what they were. Their attitudes maybe are a problem, and their heart is in the wrong place. And you know, you need to have a manager that can deal with those types of personalities and those types of clashes. And you saw Ruud van Nistelrooy fall out with players. He fell out with Buonanotte. He fell out with Winks. He fell out with Vestergaard, although a lot of managers fall out with Vestergaard. But the fact that he hasn't fallen out with Vestergaard shows that he's probably a good man manager, right? If he falls out with everybody else. And Buba Samari is a perfect example. You are seeing in every image, in every video of Buba Samari, he's smiling. When was the last time you saw him smile once, let alone every single video? And I think he's enjoying his time. A good man manager would come in, see the quality that Buba has, put your arm around him and try and utilize that, try and get that quality out of him. I also think Buba's lost a little bit of weight, mate. I think he's
trimmed down, hasn't he? He looks a bit more quicker. He's
been on the final whistle diet, I think. Jack's before the game, Jack's been giving him some advice or something.
I'm walking on them steps, mate. The protein shakes have come into bloody Andy with him as well, so you know.
Well, I think Andy King's probably played a good part, Jack, because of the pre-season, the bit of pre-season when Marti wasn't there, and we focused heavily on fitness, and I think that would have helped as well. So, if you can get the best out of Buba, Jack, he's going to be one of, if not the best centre midfielder in the Championship. And that's no doubt in my mind. I think if you get the best out of him, I think he's got the quality. He's just really struggled at times mentally and application. But like I said, as I keep saying, that the best man manager deals with every player differently depending on their situation, on their different characters. Whereas you might get a Ruud van Nistelrooy, or even, should I say, an Enzo Maresca, who's that focused on the tactical side of the game. His man management skills aren't really there. And you see, Jack, how Enzo Maresca is very much a kind of guy who says, look, if you're not with me, you're gone. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If you don't suit my style of play, I don't care. Whereas I think Marti would be different. I think Marti would look at the squad, he would see our best players, and he would kind of figure it out and work how we can get the team to work with that player in there. And I think that's what he's doing with Samara. And I think it's paying a reward. Yeah.
Let's have a look at what he says about the young players and obviously the experienced players. This is from no copyright intentions, by the way, Radio Leicester, before you bloody sue me or whatever you do. But
don't worry, mine's okay. You'll be all right. Mine's okay.
Let's have a look what he's had to say about Louis Page and that.
Louis Page, another young player, outstanding in terms of physical qualities, how much ground he covers in the trainings, in the games, axles, diesels, everything. Silko Thomas, another one, running a lot, goes in behind, creates a space for other ones, doing really well. There are other ones that are very experienced as well, but they are doing. Skippy is another player that creates a lot of high total distance and things like this. So physically good players. And the other one, I'm very impressed, for instance, perhaps because he didn't join in the camp in Austria and I didn't have the time to know him that well. It's Bobby Cordova-Reid. Fantastic knowledge of the game, really good with the group. I'm impressed. Tactically very smart. He can play in many different positions. He understands very quick whatever we ask him to do. And you don't play at the level he played in Premier League with Fulham many years if he was not a very smart player. Ricardo Pereira is another one. Fantastic understanding of the game. Harry Winks, Yannick Vestergaard, they love to talk football. So tactically as well, very smart players. We got a good group.
See, that's what I like about what he said. He spoke about Silko Thomas, Louis Page, how good they are and what they offer to the team and what he's seen from them. Then he sort of earmarked Vestergaard, Winks, Ricardo, Oliver Skip, Bobby D. Cordova-Reid. I mean, Bobby D. Cordova-Reid's name, I'm surprised that even came up. But it's good to see, isn't it, Locks, that he's earmarking different players and seeing what all the good things they are and what they are offering into him.
Yeah, mate, that's it. The Bobby Reid one was interesting. It's hard to tell, Jack, whether he's saying it to try and put an arm around the fringe squad, the fringe players, right? To try and keep them, because I think a lot of us are expecting Louis Page to maybe drop down the pecking order slightly with Aaron Ramsey coming in. But he's been great. So it's hard to tell whether he's trying to do that with Bobby Reid and Page, or if he just genuinely means he's big fans of them and Bobby Reid is going to play a big part. I don't know where Bobby Reid would play a big part with Fatawu, Mavididi, Monga. Maybe Bobby Reid can be a backup to Fatawu with McAteer now leaving, of course. Maybe Bobby Reid will be his backup on the right-hand side, but we know he can play on the left as well. You'd hope Monga is the backup left winger because that's where he's excelled, and I still think Mavididi's ahead of him in terms of Marti's preference just because he's 16, but there's no doubt in my mind, mate, Jerry Monga is the best player when he's on the pitch. I think he is anyway, and he mentions Ricardo, smart knowledge of the game. We all knew that. He mentioned Winks again. He's saying that him and Yannick love to talk football, and that's not a surprise to me. They loved Enzo Ball. They loved the tactical side of the game and in possession and all of that. And so, yeah, he's doing all the right things, as I said, not only with the fans, but there you go. You've just seen it with the players. He's praising the players. He's glazing the players, and even the ones that aren't playing too much at the moment, he's talking about them. He's name dropping them and complimenting them, and that's the man management skills coming in for sure.
Yeah, and there was obviously Seagrave, big up Lee, by the way, who sent me this. It's Seagrave watching the under-21s, potentially seeing a few more youngsters who he could add to the squad at some point. I know at the minute, Locks, he's put 23 players in there out of 25, hasn't he? There's obviously 2 more free agents that could potentially come in if needed be, but right now, it's the case that he's happy with his squad. He did want to shrink the squad, but it's good to see that he is sort of keeping the eye on the academy side of things first before thinking, yeah, I don't need to go and spend silly money on a player if I've already got one at Seagrave, already progressing to ready to come in.
Yeah, I can't see us bringing in any more free agents. Maybe if we lost a Winks or a Fass. Is Saudi still open or is that closed now? Or Turkey and Saudi windows.
Turkey closed at 5 o'clock.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah.
Let me see when Saudi ends.
Did Saudi close on the 11th?
What date does the transfer window close? Let's have a look. Here we go. When does the Saudi Pro League window close? Let's see what it says. I'm just curious here to see when it might be. So Turkey's open until... Okay, wow. So Saudi's open until the 23rd of September. So there's still a while to go there, 11 days. So this is what I'm saying, right? If a Saudi club did come in for Winks or Fass, then maybe we might bring in a free agent. But I think as it stands, I think he's happy with the squad for sure, especially now that we've got Bobby Reid. There's another forward player coming back, right? It's another number. We've brought in 3 on deadline day. We know as it was, he didn't really want a big squad. So I think he's going to be happy with it. He wanted a keeper, or we wanted a keeper. The club wanted another keeper. They've done that, and that's great that we've got another one in, I suppose. Back up to Jakub. But yeah, I think... I think he's going to be happy with the squad. I think we're all pretty happy with the squad after deadline day. I think we had concerns. I think we all believed we needed reinforcements in midfield. And I think we all believed we needed a number 9. And they've done that. Yes, it would have been nice to maybe get in another fullback, maybe another left back. So we're not relying on Luke Thomas and Victor Christiansen. But, although Luke Thomas, I can't stand Luke Thomas. And I don't think he's good enough at all. But at championship level, the pair of them, Christensen and Thomas, they'll be fine. They'll be fine at this level. They'll still make a mistake here or there, but what player doesn't? I think they'll be okay. So overall, you got to think, Jack. Compare this current squad to what Marti had at QPR. I mean, it's leaps and bounds. It's not even comparable in any way. Our squad is superior by far, and I think he'll be absolutely buzzing with the talent that he's got at his disposal.
Let's talk about your love for a lone player, Jordan James. He has spoke about his first day at Seagrave, which the club office have released today. Let's have a look what he's had to say regarding his move and that. Let me put it on bloody full screen. Right, there we go.
So just obviously being around the facility, and it's a big old place, so I'm just getting my bearings with everything. But the lads have been really good. They've welcomed me with open arms, and we can't wait to get started.
Obviously, you met Aaron, didn't you, on that deadline day up in Manchester, but today's been the first opportunity to sort of meet everybody else.
That's sort of
the chefs, everyone's been really, really helpful. I want this to be my home, so that I need to be familiar with people and the place, and I feel like that's slowly going to be happening.
Must have been a bit of a strange one for you, signing and then immediately going off and not being in for, what has it been, about 10 or 11 days. So what was that process like?
It was weird. Obviously, the day was a very long day with the medical and obviously waiting to sign. And then when it happened, you were so happy, but then you go straight to Wales. So it was a long process, and for my family as well, for them not to know where I'm going to settle and where I'm going to stay. But I'm happy that I'm here now, and I just can't wait for the weekend to obviously hopefully get started and have a big season.
Locks, what do you learn from that?
Sorry, mate, I'm back. Sorry, I was just shutting the window and stuff. Mate, everything I've heard from this guy has made me love him even more, a bit like Marti. I was super excited. So this is a signing that I kind of called for back in June, I think it was, when I read that he wasn't having the best of times out in Rennes and over in France, and it wasn't as successful as he'd have hoped. And I saw he was available for sale or for loan or whatever it is, and and he was linked to Wrexham, he was linked to Sheffield United and Southampton and Ipswich, I think. And I thought, bloody hell, what are we doing, lads? Get him signed up. Because for me, Jack, I'm not saying he's better. He's not on Dewsbury Hall's level, but he's actually exactly what we've needed since Dewsbury Hall left the football club. Look at our team last season. We didn't have a midfielder, a central midfielder, a number 8, that could pick the ball up deep, that was physical enough to just glide with the ball, get forward, hold off men, do different things with it. Box crash, which is a great thing, and that will help us a lot this season. Not just box crashing though, but also his passing catalogue is good. He's a good passer of the ball. Defensively, he's okay. It's not his best area, but he's still okay defensively. And that, I don't think that will be the primary role in his job anyway. So I'm super, super, super excited for this one. And then again, everything that he's said since he joined has been even more impressive. He's spoken about how him and his dad always said that he would suit Leicester. He would suit a club like Leicester. He's always said that, he said that we're a Premier League club. We shouldn't be in the Championship. He wants to help us get out. His attitude and his application for other clubs and other teams and other performances seem really good. For Wales, I watched him the other night. He didn't light it up. He wasn't amazing, but he did some really nice stuff. And you could see there that you could see what he's going to bring to this midfield. And I don't think he's going to start this weekend. We'll talk about that soon, but I think long term this season he will be a starter for us, and I absolutely see us signing him permanently at the end of the season. And I also see him being a future captain, Jack, for Leicester City if we make that deal permanent. And yes, Isaac, you are right. Jordan James does need a restraining order out on me because I am obsessed.
Fantastic. So let's have a look at what else he's had to say.
Saturday, you get the call, whatever that might be, whether from the start or on the bench, your body's ready, you feel ready.
Yeah, I'm more than ready. I had a full pre-season. I'm ready to go and whenever I'm called upon.
In terms of having won, but what did you learn from that? What did you learn about Marti himself as a manager?
Yeah, I've had a few chats with him, and we've already built quite a good relationship, and the way that he wants me to play is very similar to the way I play at Wales. So that benefits me in the sense of I already know what I'm doing almost, and it's just the little things that he wants, which I need to work on, and hopefully when it all comes together, it can pay off.
In the 2 goals that game?
Yeah, I've had it a few times. A few of the lads have been saying it to me as well, the ones that I was playing against, but hopefully it's going to be for Leicester this time and not against. But it was a good memory of mine, and one that obviously I was really young at the time. So it sort of pushed me on in my career, and hopefully I can do that here. The whole move process was really positive. It's somewhere that I've always wanted to be. I think I said it in my last interview. I've always just had a feeling about Leicester. We've always been in conversations, and it's a place that should be in the Premier League, and hopefully us as a team and as staff, we can do that for the whole club.
Did you hear that, Jack? About we've always been in conversations. This shows how football works. Leicester City, especially, we know they tend to track players and get in touch with players for large number and managers as well, Jack. Like we've been interested in. We were interested in Russell Martin for like 2 years, and you keep tracks, and you touch base every now and then, and it looks like they've probably done that with JJ. And as Frankie says, we've been after him for 4 years, since we spotted him in the Birmingham Academy, and then he goes and scores 2 goals and a great performance against us 2 years ago, and they were probably thinking, bloody hell, we need this lad. I don't know why we didn't sign him when Dewsbury Hall left, Jack. We spent 20 million on Oliver Skipp. I think this guy's better than Oliver Skipp.
Yeah, do you know what? He comes across very confident. He obviously earmarks Marti from his style and how he suits that, with obviously what he's doing at Wales and that, which is good. It's good to see we've actually identified players that actually fit the system. Then obviously when Steve Cooper come in, he just bloody signed any Tom, Dick and Harry, and they never fit the system at all. So we're like, okay then, well, we've actually washed everything out, haven't we now, and sort of looked at proper things that we need to be looking at, not just anybody. Jordan James, he suits a Leicester. Fantastic. His dad must be have big admirations of the football club. I think he's is a Leicester fan in disguise. His dad, maybe. You never know, do you? Locks, skip or wigs.
What's the question? Who's a better player, or who do I prefer? I prefer Skip just because he's not a knobhead like Harry Winks is. But Winks is the better player. Yeah, Winks is the better player. Yeah,
Fair enough.
but I'd rather Skip in the team because I actually want players that want to be here, and I don't think Winks does. So.
Let's get on to his press conference. We'll do this quite short because we want to do the lineup builder for Oxford. I'll get your initial thoughts on the Oxford game. So injury news, there's no major concerns. Louis Page did return with feeling his hamstring. So whether that sort of puts him out for the Oxford game or even benches him is another thing to where he starts. Marty talks about what the club did in bringing players in. They're hungry to fill the positions where we needed help. They arrived with desire to show themselves. It's up to them to perform and for themselves as good players for Leicester. He spoke about the work that they've done over the international break. It's been very good, sometimes tricky because they have been putting players on international duties, but the players have been preparing themselves really well. It's now time to show it in the game. For some of the new players, it was good to get to know the lads. It was a real positive. But he speaks about Oxford. It's a team I know well from last season. The manager did really well when he arrived to change the dynamic. We understand it's going to be a difficult game because this is always the case, but we're really happy after the game against Birmingham and the result. And it's honest conversations about things to improve. There's a couple of weeks have helped us understand what we need to bring. So Marty obviously done quite well against Oxford last time when I spoke to the Oxford boys and that regarding how much they know about him. So what is your sort of feeling ahead of this one? How tough of a game is it?
We're going to struggle this season against teams that are going to sit back. So, Jack, tell me, what did the Oxford fans say? Did they think that they're going to sit back and try and frustrate us, or what? What did they say?
Well, he said they'll probably play a 5 at the back. So that sort of tells me that they're going to try and counter-attack us the way Charlton did and the way Sheffield Wednesday did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like every team in the league when they come up against us, they'll play a different system. And Gary Rowers, he just likes to grind out results, don't he, in that type of manner. That's the way he approaches it. But
talking of Gary Rowett, I've got something to show you. Wait there.
Go on. You haven't got a signed Gary Rowett shirt, have you, somewhere?
No, not a shirt. You got
a little figure.
I've got my thing here, right? I've got my thing here, my Leicester stuff.
Do you want to show us some of your cards?
Yeah, I will in a sec. But I'm just looking for a certain card here. Let me look through. Yes, there he is. So I'll pull it out. The cards, not anything.
What'd you do? Just collect Leicester and nobody else?
So these were I bought these the other day off a Leicester fan. These are all the retro ones, and as you can see here, there you go. There is Gary Rowett's card from the 2001-2002 season.
Played 40.
Gary Rowett.
He played about 40 plus games for Leicester, Gary Rowett.
Yeah, so there you go. That was my card. But no, let me show you, Jack. I've got 1 second. Let me get this back in here.
It's a collection that everyone's just raving about now. You see all the box collections and that, and what people are getting. And
this binder has basically all of the old ones. You can see that's, by the way, that's signed by Mavididi. It's not Mavididi, Tielemans, that thing there. But we've got all the old players. Look at that. Neil Lennon.
Wow.
Steve Claridge, Heskey. Anyway, but the good
someone's actually selling an autograph Emil Heskey card online.
Yes, they are. So let me show you, Jack.
I looked earlier. I've got another look.
You see this here?
Yeah.
Here? This is my creme de la creme. You ready for this? This arrived today, and I'm keeping it for the future. This is a signed autograph rookie card,
Jeremy
Champions
Marti.
League. No,
Fatawa.
signed rookie Champions League for Sporting Lisbon. Abdul Fatawu. Look at that. Look
How much do you
at
actually
that.
pay for it?
This one here was cheap. £20. This.
It's
£20.
not bad, you know.
£20. However, Jack, I do have these. You'll like this one.
I'm
Senior
all right.
man.
I'm all right with the Akinbaye one, thank you.
There's
Senior man, the Scripps one, yeah.
Yeah. We've got.
There's a Schmeichel. Someone's saying a Schmeichel one for like 30 quid.
We've got Tittymuns. There you go. And we have.
You got your Bilal El Khanous one.
Kiernan Dewsbury Hall signed auto.
That's a great card.
Yeah, that's a really, really nice one. And then, here you go. Rookie Ratty Bilal Rat Khanous. Squeak, squeak, squeak the rat himself. That one's not signed or numbered or anything. I just kept that because he's a rat.
Go to Stuttgart, get it signed.
One more, Jack, for you. One more. Look at this beauty. This is a Christian Fuchs.
Yeah, the red shirt.
500 cards, and that there, mate, is match-worn shirt.
The red
of
shirt,
Christian
yeah.
Fuchs. Yeah, match-worn.
That would have been the season after the Champions League season.
Yeah, but no, I've got a
Right
couple
after the season we
others.
won the title, actually.
Yeah, I've got a couple others. So I've got this Ricardo, which is only 1 out of 50 in the world of that Ricardo Pereira. And then there's also one here, which is, if I find it for you,
Frankie loves that Bilal El Khanous card.
one of only 30 in the world.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. And then I've got 1 of 200, James Maddison. That's a nice card.
Wow.
We've got a 1 of 200, Kagla Soyuncu.
You got a fast one, yeah? What?
It's in, that's in my tin. That's in my tin. It's not on my shelf. It's not on my shelf.
You're gonna bring it out after the Saudi window closes.
Yeah. Here's another Barnes one that's out of 200. And then finally,
big up try.
I have this one 'cause it's not an official card, but it is signed by the captain himself, Mr. Wes. So there you go. So
Tribe, happy anniversary to you and Mrs. Tribe. I believe it is 27 years. You said to Steve. So yeah, big up. By the way,
I do have this one as well, signed by Vadidi as well.
Vadidi.
I've had a busy week. I've been collecting lots and lots of cards. The problem though, Jack, is along the way, Jack, I've also accumulated some non-Leicester cards. So I've got this, which is match-worn Jared Bowen and Lucas Paqueta. Which I've got, which I'm trying to sell, and also
Ninja Adam. Hi guys, was watching the recent BTG video and came on here and knocks it here too. Yeah. Wow,
that's graded. That's a Yassin Adli AC Milan match-worn kit and signature. That's a good one. That's a good one.
How much do you pay for that one?
I didn't. I won that, so I'm trying to sell it. So if anybody wants to buy this off me,
how much is it worth? Is the problem?
Not loads, no, not much. I would sell this if anybody wants it for 30 quid. There you go.
If you get a Jamie Vardy one though, 1 in 10.
Mate, there's one of ones out there. There's one of one Vardys out there for a lot of money. Yeah,
there is. I've seen a few. Someone offered me a Jamie Vardy one.
Jack,
I think it's 99. I think he offered me 90. Something. I think it's 38, 39 in 99.
Jack, I'm eyeing up a card which is a 1 of 10 Riyad Mahrez signed shirt in the Champions League.
How much is it?
A signed Mahrez card, 1 of 10, and it's 150 quid. So I think I'm going to get it. To add to the collection. That'll be the best one I've got. So Yeah.
You're going to need bloody Klarna payments at this point.
You fucking are, mate. Yeah, you are. You are.
You're going to need PayPal credit to take out for these cards. The more expensive they get.
Yeah.
Someone said to me the other day, it's like gambling. I said, I don't know. It's more of a collection thing, to be fair. And I sort of, obviously I collect quite a lot of Leicester stuff. And me and Manny were talking about FA Cup medals. Obviously, he showed me his one the other day. Obviously, the other batch that the club had brought out long time after. And the one I've got, I got, when was it? 4 years ago, a couple of days after the FA Cup win.
Yeah.
And it was, the club only released a limited edition, 100 of them at the time. And obviously they gave me one. So, Manny said, yours is worth a lot of money. I said, well, it's obviously an official Leicester City FA Cup medal thing. So someone said, oh, how much do you want for it and how do I collect? And I'm like, mate, I'm not really going to sell it because it's obviously valuable, isn't it? I just don't want to part with it right now because if I get another 25 years, it's going to be worth a lot more.
When we're in League 2, mate, it'll be worth loads. It'll be worth.
Jack, which stand you seen? I'm pretty sure I seen you at the end of the Birmingham game, but wasn't confident enough to say hello. I sit in the co-op. I've got an ultra rare Daka 35 goal season card off for locks.
I've got an ultra rare Daka 35 goal season card. Make me an offer. I'll give you 35p. 1p for each goal. 1p for each goal.
Right, look, so let's share the screen. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to do our Oxford team. We're going to vote. What formation do you want to play?
4-2-3-1.
Right, okay. You can see the screen, yeah?
Yep.
Right, lovely. Right, goalkeeper.
Jakub Stolarczyk.
Someone said put the other goalkeeper in goal, but...
No, you can't do that.
How good even is the other goalkeeper? I don't even know.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, you can't do that.
What we're saying, yeah. Captain Wes Morgan Rum has got to be the best one and also got one of them FA Cup medals. Yeah, I've got the one with the red box. When the club had obviously, I think they only released 100. I've got number. I bloody know what number I've got. To be fair, yeah, I think I saw you. I saw them, mate. Yeah, probably. Locks defense.
I would say it's a tough one with Ricardo, isn't it? I would go
with a Coley and Vestergaard because I think that's where he's going to go.
And it'll be Thomas on the left, I think.
Yeah, I'd say Thomas on the left. There he is.
And I think it's going to be Hamza. I think Ricardo will be used off the bench again, mate. I think it'll be Hamza Chowdhury personally.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's two CDMs. Just does Jordan James play? Or
is this what I think will happen or what I want to happen?
Well, we've just got to predict it, haven't we, and see what happens. I mean, I'd like to see him play, but if you're going to drop any Skip or Samara, you're going to drop Oliver Skip, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if it's what I want James and Samari. But if it's what I think will happen, I think it'll be Winks. I think it'll be Skip and Booba. I think that's what we will see. I think we'll see Skip and Booba. But I would prefer to see James. I would prefer to see James. Yeah.
That would be my sort of midfield.
I agree. If I could choose it, it would be that. Yeah.
So if Louis Page isn't in, then I think we go with that.
I have a slight different theory.
Okay, what you got?
I think we might see Ayew in the 10 and Carranza up top.
Let's see how that works out, actually. Where are you, Mr. Uncle Ayew? There you are. That could be an interesting shot, to be fair. Obviously, we're going to have Fatawu. Monga or Mavididi?
Again, I think it'll be Mavididi. I want Monga, but I think it'll be Steffi.
Yeah, I think Steffi starts, to be fair. The thing is, I think Monga will start at some point this season. But I think he might go Mavididi. But then again, it depends. it always depends on if he wants to the opposition, you know. Because if you bring a lot more attack into it, then obviously it's a good sort of thing, to be fair, because you'll obviously have a lot more pace. That'd be a decent team, to be fair. I'd be quite happy with that tomorrow in City. It's okay then.
This is almost our best 11. Yeah, there's a couple changes I would make to our best 11, but this is a good 11, mate. I'm excited about this. Again, I was probably rather Ramsey starts in there, but I think it'll be Ayew. I think it'll be Ayew
scores
tomorrow.
his debut bucket. Maybe.
I hope so that'd be brilliant. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. But no, this team's good, mate.
I'd like to see Booba score.
He's never scored, has he, for Leicester? Never.
Is it the post once? Apart from that.
Yeah.
I mean, could we actually see Booba Samare score potentially?
This is a good team, mate. Yeah, this is a good team. I'm excited. If this was the lineup, I would get excited. Yeah, but Monga in there over Mavididi if I could pick, and I would also go Ricardo over Chowdhury. Yeah,
that's sort of your team more late on in the season, isn't it? If you look at this team here, but then obviously you change. Ricardo
and throw in Ramsey in the 10. Throw in Ramsey in the 10.
So say, are you Uncle? Are you sorry, mate? Yeah.
See that there is brilliant. That there is brilliant at this level. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a team what's going to win the championship.
Before a deduction, mate. Yeah. When the deduction hits, that's a different story.
Well, at the minute, they've not really discussed that, have they? So obviously, the Premier League are going to have to look at Chelsea now, aren't they, for a little bit, which takes to eat off Leicester a bit. That will be his second game low. What, the hat trick? If we have a Carranza Bonanza at the Kazan tomorrow, mate.
Way Carranza Bonanza.
It's that left back spot that concerns me. Yeah, I'd say so. I was surprised we didn't bring in another left back, to be fair. But obviously, Thomas, he's got to give him his due, hasn't he? If he's going to play him, you've got to mug assist. Hopefully, the new boys push the rubbish out. Yeah, exactly. That's when I sort of think we'll look at Fast. But then I sort of see why he hasn't got rid of Fast, because if he goes, then you've only got Nelson, Vestergaard, and Akoli, and you're stuck. You've only got 3 defenders. And if both bloody Akoli and Vestergaard get injured, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that's when you start to bring in a Luco to the fold. That's when you could even after my little... Well, after our stream on Wednesday, I now know a little bit more about Kevin Gray in the academy.
What did you learn from Jack when he joined you? Are there any other academy players coming through? I did watch a majority of it, but are there any more that he actually sort of pinpointed in the end?
Well, he's really excited about Riley Carr, the right winger, or the winger, quick, powerful winger who's 16, who he signed from Hartford. Harry Suter will be back as well. But Kevin Gray looks like a good prospect, mate, in centre back. So if there ever was a injury crisis, let's say, at the back, touch wood there's not, but if there was, then maybe someone like that would be brought through. Yeah,
fantastic. Hello, Johnny, how are we, mate? Hope you're good. Good to see you in, mate. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you do. Go and subscribe to Blue Tinted Glasses. They obviously do some great content over there. We are trying to push the Leicester content out at the minute. We're trying to create like a good community between the channels and that, and we seem to be consistent in that and involving you lot quite well, to be fair, which is a good thing. Obviously, Locks, what have you got on, mate, for like the next few days? I know you spoke about the watch along. Is the Monday night phone in on, is it?
Yeah, the phone in will be on. We'll have obviously a stream every day. So tonight, make sure everybody in the chat, make sure you join us at 9:30 in just over an hour. Just under an hour and a half, in 90 minutes time. At 9:30, as long as you're over 18 and you're not offended easily, come and join us on the Late Night Leicester show at 9:30, because we'll be talking about all sorts. We'll be talking about what's been going on in the news. And then, we'll have the watch long. So call it late night tonight. Watch long Saturday. Good Morning Foxes Sunday. I mean, I'm going to text him after, so I may as well ask him now. Jack, Good Morning Foxes on Sunday morning, mate. You fancy it?
Yeah, go on. If I can get some footage of the goals tomorrow, I'm sure I can send them. Yeah, we can work through it and talk for everything.
There you go. So Jack will be on Good Morning Fox on Sunday with myself, Graham, and Kate. And then the call-in show on Monday. Yeah. So yeah, make sure you come and check it out.
Score prediction then. I've gone 2-0 Leicester. What have you gone for?
2-0 Leicester. No.
Steve's gone 3-0, by the way.
2-1. 2-1 Leicester. I think we might concede. 2-1 Leicester.
Well, it wouldn't really surprise me. I'd say 3. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But that is it.
To answer Ivan's question, yes, Luke will be on Late Night Leicester. Yeah. Although for him, it won't be late. It will be 5 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, he'll be there.
4-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-1. Fantastic. Oxford next then. Go and check out the match previews. We sat down with 2 Oxford podcasters yesterday. Go and check them out as well. Go and check that out. Championship predictions is out. You'll see even what we predicted for the Ipswich game tonight, which is on right now. So I'm gonna.
What was your guess? What was your prediction?
I've gone 2-0 Ipswich.
Who is it again? Ipswich.
Sheffield United.
1-1, I reckon.
1-1. Ivan,
1-1.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it as always. Last comment is by Resist. 3-1 Leicester. Yeah, take any score as long as it's a win. But up the Foxes then. Oxford away tomorrow. Bring it on. Match day vlog will be out as well after the game. So we'll try and get that out. But no, Locks, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And club football is back tomorrow then at the Kazam.